So, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Network Hour podcast. I am your host, Molly Crease, and today we have a special guest with us. Her name is Sheila Andres. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yes, Molly. Good morning. Hello, everyone.
Welcome, Sheila. And so, before we get into it, I'm just going to read a little bit about Sheila. Trusted advisor, progress expert, and speaker, Sheila Andres championed small business success. After college, Sheila found her passion as right-hand partner to an entrepreneur building his legacy from startup to success. The journey was hard and mentally, emotionally, physically draining. With perseverance and dedication, she prevailed. Today, Sheila is on fire. I love that. And on purpose, helping business owners turn their vision for success into reality. She is owner of Realize Your Vision, coaching and consulting that brings fun and flow to the business journey, and founder of the STUCKSUCKS movement, where small business success is the catalyst for positive global impact. There is power in small. Love that, love that, love that. Welcome, Sheila. How are you today?
Oh, I'm so excited. You got me on fire, Molly. I totally interrupted my own bio.
That's what happens sometimes. That is what happens sometimes. It's Friday. We're excited that it's the weekend.
Yes.
We don't have to worry about work too much, but it's okay. It's okay. So let's dive right into it. Let's have some fun questions here. So tell me, what's your favorite guilty pleasure?
Oh my gosh, we have to go there, Molly. You know, my guilty pleasure is food.
Oh, wow.
I have a sweet tooth, but I love everything. And if I could, I could eat for comfort, eat for pleasure, eat for reward.
Yeah. Sometimes my guilty pleasure is chocolate, the ones with the almonds inside that you can eat and crunch it. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Molly, are you talking about me again? That's one of my favorites too. I've got a big jar of it, as a matter of fact.
Yes, I can't get enough of it. It has to have almonds in there. So,
Yes.
Another question is, what do you think is one of the worst career advice that you've gotten? Or have you gotten any advice that was just like, oh my God, I'm not going to take that advice?
You know, that is such an interesting question, because when I look back at my career working for small business owner in this corporate space, I actually longed for someone to advise me. You know, to give me some support, ideas, to help me become, I guess, a good manager, a leader in the business that I was in. You know, very briefly, I had decided to work for a small business owner coming out of college instead of a big six, accounting firm ready to outsource me. And I had a computer information systems background, but somehow my heart said, go and work for the small business owner. And at a very early age, he had given me part of the company. And and I asked him, I was curious. I was so grateful, didn't expect it, but I asked him why. And he said, well, number one, I trust you, Sheila. Number two, you've helped me grow my company so much. I really appreciate it. Number three, I can tell that you sincerely care about the success of this company. It's only right that you should own it. I was so passionate. I got so fired up, Molly. I was like, this is what I need to pour into. Now he's pulling me in as part of this person and his vision to create and turn his vision into reality. But do you think I've ever done that before, Molly? No. And so looking for advice. And, the sad part is when you ask me that question, a lot of times there'll be that one thing that comes to you. And I have a blank. So,
oh, wow.
Unfortunately, I didn't get that kind of good advice or guidance or anything that really stuck. And the people that I was looking to for that advice, that mentorship, that guidance, unfortunately, felt very short, And, I took me a long time to realize that in my, just my life and my whole career.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate because mentorship is so important, right? And a lot of times the reason why we don't succeed, we don't know everything. So we need those people that are going to pour into us and help us grow. And I think because you didn't have that, now that you're becoming that for others, which is very, very important. So let's go to my next question. I want you to tell me, I know we've read your bio and all that stuff, but tell me a bit more about Sheila. Who is Sheila and what makes Sheila tick?
Girl, well, you didn't even get past my bio and I got all fired up. Okay. I am so passionate about small business success. I mean, anytime we're talking about it, I light up. Even when I'm tired, and we get drained as entrepreneurs, we do so much, we get overwhelmed, even those that are career oriented. I'm not going to exclude that. People that are highly driven, highly aspired and committed, we tend to do so many things and we get exhausted. But our passion, when it's a true passion, no matter what, you could just get lit up. So it is small business success. And, when we were talking earlier, the thing that came to me about, you said it, there's a lot of things that we don't know what we don't know. And I realized, wow, I didn't get what I was hoping to receive in guidance and mentorship. But the truth is that entrepreneur I worked for, he was in a playing field where he didn't know what he didn't know. And many people go through that as entrepreneurs. This is the hardest truth. I'm going to mic drop this, but I'm standing in full leadership and unconditional love and support and honesty for those that are visionaries, business owners, called to be more and walk the path of entrepreneurship. We've never built the business before. So there's so much of, I don't know what I don't know. And as we go through the journey, we're learning so many different things about ourselves, about what makes us tick. I love that question. And the truth is, I didn't realize after half a lifespan that I did not even really know who Sheila really was. There was aspects about who I was that I didn't recognize, that I didn't see for myself. And it was even like a self-discovery. So I just feel like in this space, there's a lot of things that we don't know what we don't know. But as we commit to whatever it is that we desire in our hearts and we keep taking action, the path unfolds and we start learning some more, and we start growing, start evolving. And before we know it, we've achieved certain things in our lives that we hope for. And then we find ourselves lost again because we're on a whole nother playing field that we've never been at before in life and or business. And we don't know. There's a lot again of what we don't know that we don't know. Yeah. And the thing that makes me tick is I remember leaving the corporate space and I really asked myself, what is it that I really want and desire? And there was one word that really stood out to me, and it's love. What makes me tick is love. I love pouring into people. I'm not as good at receiving love and getting poured back into, but we all need that and we're working on it. I love people. I have to say, we are the hardest things in the world to deal with, but we're also the most rewarding, right?
Yeah.
The interaction, the communal, I love people. And overall, I just like to have fun. People keep saying, Sheila, you got so much energy. I did not understand what that meant until really now, and I'm embracing it. The energy of fun and flow, and connecting with people. And I think that's really it. I'm passionate about people. I love love. And I love small business success. I think it can change the world. And when you put me in an ocean of entrepreneurs and people that highly aspired, forget it. I turn into a ball of flames.
Yeah, that's amazing. You talk about discovering who you are. Did
Yeah.
you take specific steps to do that, or did it just happen organically?
Oh my gosh, what a big question. Molly, dropping the big question. You
I'm
know, that means
sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta ask it. I gotta ask it.
oh, don't ever apologize for being powerful, woman. Oh, it's again, I did not know what I didn't know. I didn't know that there was so much out there of information and knowing and advice that can help guide you to really grow and expand and to become this better version of yourself. I mean, we talk about it, but I have to say that in order for anyone to achieve the success that you desire, it doesn't matter what, you have to become that version of yourself that can give you that success. And that was a really hard and tough realization, to think that I could not give myself the success that I desired when I first started out my business. I mean,
Mhm.
I had helped this gentleman go from a footprint in California to nationwide, make millions. We opened offices internationally, successful, bought buildings. And it's like, I could be able to do that for myself. And when I did, I couldn't. I
Yeah.
couldn't. And you know what? I didn't even know where to go to. I
Mhm.
had no idea where to go to. And my truth is, I had to give it up and surrender. I didn't even know how to ask the question. I didn't know how to ask for what I needed, but
Mhm.
I could tell I needed help, because like, can you help me? Like in what? I don't know. But I need help. And so yes, there's a good portion of that I think was organic. I'm a woman of faith. I'm spiritual. I use that. It's a big I think added value and strength and power in how I serve others, but I don't preach them. I just bring in love and this belief in a higher source that is greater than we are, who knows our deepest desires and will always give you what you need. And so I had to press really into that because I didn't know. And I felt so lost. I was devastated. I felt crushed. Here I was, I felt like I accomplished so much, owned part of the business. And, 2 decades into it, I didn't even know who I was. I lost my peace. I lost my joy. I couldn't stay present. And I just knew that I wanted something more. There had to be something more in life and it had to be better than this. And so it was a complete surrender. But in doing that, I did get what I needed. People started to show up, people in the space with their own beautiful gifts and genius that allowed me to go, oh my gosh, that really resonated with me. I would love to go and explore that. So very much, I think, organic, but at some point it gets intentional because you
Yeah.
start to learn and discover more about yourself and understand what you need. And if you're committed and highly aspired, let me tell you, we go after what we need. We don't wait. We got mountains to climb, right? We got goals to achieve. We got impact to make in the world. We can't wait.
Yeah. I think not knowing who you are hinders your growth so much.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't figure that out because they want to be like someone else without figuring out who they are first. And I think self-realization is scary because to sit with yourself, and there's a singer that I read I was a fan of Michael Jackson, and there's a song that he sang that when he said, I'm talking to the man in the mirror,
Oh,
right? And a lot of us don't want to look in the mirror and talk to ourselves because we are scared of what we might find and what we might see, and we might not like certain things. But authenticity and being genuine is so important, and it's so important for your growth and for success in business. And I think that's a hindrance for a lot of people because they don't want to see that woman or that man in the mirror. Would
oh
you
my God,
agree?
Molly, I'm just giggling because I remember you took me back, lovely lady, to the time when somebody says, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror
Yeah.
and tell yourself, I love you. I could not do it. I
Oh,
could not do it. At one point, I probably would have been really embarrassed to share that, but it's my truth. I've gotten to a place of complete, love and acceptance of myself that I just want to be free to be. And you
mhm.
talked about authenticity, but I got to ask you, when you looked in the mirror that one time, was it just as, challenging for you
It's
to just look at yourself?
it is scary because you have to see the good and the bad and the ugly. And
Yeah.
there are good, bad, and ugly in every one of us.
Oh,
And we have to be able to face the bad and the ugly and not just focus on the good. Because if you only focus on the good, then you're neglecting the bad and the ugly. How do you get better? You
oh,
know?
let me tell you what I confronted in the mirror. I confronted, oh my gosh, my worst critic. I call her Negative Nelly.
Yeah.
She is mean. She is abusive, obnoxious, rude. I want to kick her in the face, kick her in the taco. Ladies, she was a humongous block. She was hairy, beastie. She was not nice.
Oh my
So, like, in
gosh.
looking at myself, everything, like, um, you know, what do you think you're doing, Sheila?
Hmm.
You know, who's going to listen to you? Let alone you want to get on a video, or somebody told you on a video, who's going to look at you? Look at you.
Exactly.
You're not even pretty. You're like a human sock puppet.
Oh wow. She
I
is
know.
mean.
I know she was mean, and she's like, do you even know what you're doing? It was horrible. That was what was so difficult for me, and it was learning to calm that voice and to quiet it, even to really understand what's scary is, where did she come from?
Yeah.
What in the world? Where did she come from? And who gave her a place at the freaking table? And why in the world did I make her my advisor in some sense? It's this
Yeah.
clock that's just guiding you that you didn't even realize. And it was horrible. So, that opened up a whole nother pathway and journey of self-discovery.
Hmm.
And that's the part that's scary. And then, believe it or not, I didn't know what I didn't know. And so all these little things that started to show up starts to breed in truths about your life, about your upbringing, your beliefs, the experiences you went through, and then the story. Somebody goes, "Oh, it's the story that you made up." I'm like, I don't have any once upon a times in my head. What are you talking about?
Hmm.
This is all fiction and whatnot. I did not even understand it. I didn't understand it. But the stories was really about what we subconsciously told ourselves. And I was amazed in realizing as a little girl what I was telling myself at
Hmm.
even such an early age. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I was so young and I thought that way. Like, how powerful was I to think that way? And it still breathes into my heart and soul up until now. I'm not going to age myself, Molly. I almost did. But let's just say it's been a well, multiple decades.
Yeah. Yeah. We can be so hard on ourselves. And I relate with you in that. And sometimes it stems from childhood, it stems from family and friends. And they might not be thinking that they're having that sort of an effect on you when they say certain things and do certain things, but it definitely has an effect. I could remember growing up and being teased by my sisters, and not just my sisters, my mom as well. I remember my sister telling me, "Oh, look at you, you flat butt. You don't have a butt. Your butt flat." And so I would always try to, even now, I will try when I work out, I will try to work those muscles for my butt because it still kind of comes, try to creeps its ugly head today
Yeah.
that, oh, you don't have the butt like other people you see walking down the street or whatever. You need a bigger butt or whatever. And they were not saying it in malice, it was just a tease. But
Yeah.
then certain things like that have so many effects on you in your adult life. I remember going to school and my mom used to, I had long, natural, nice hair. My mom used to comb our hair properly to go to school and all that stuff. And we used to carry ourselves properly. And because my parents are pastors and stuff like that, we had a kind of a, I don't want to say prestige, but there was kind of an aura that we would be respectful and
Oh yeah.
hold our head up high and stuff like that. And we were bullied for that. I was called styly cockroach and all kind of names
Oh my gosh.
because people thought that I was way better than they were. And so these things really transition in your adulthood, and it forms itself into self-doubt and imposter syndrome and all those things. And going back to the man in the mirror and looking at yourself in the mirror, if you don't look at yourself in the mirror and address these things, then that is going to affect you in business. You're not going to be able to see your value and your worth when you're transitioning that into business.
Okay. I'm going to ask the people that are listening to this, that have showed up in commitment to yourself, and ask and answer this to yourself. Was that not hot and sexy? Was not Molly just completely gorgeous, attractive? Didn't you feel her strength and power? Like, I want to honor you right now. And thank you for sharing such a real and vulnerable story, because it's so powerful. I mean, you brought me to so many places. The same thing. I had the shushing, the same thing. We've been brought up in a certain upbringing.
Yeah.
So there's this expectation of how you're supposed to behave. And the sad part about it is you didn't do anything wrong. You were just honoring and obeying what you were taught and told to do. And instead, you get the projection of other people attacking you, because maybe they're, all that bullying and things, really, when people do that, it's more of a reflection about, maybe their own insecurities.
Yeah.
What's going on in their lives, what you may have something that they desired for themselves, and subconsciously they get triggered. And because they don't have that for themselves, they're going to attack other people because, pain, sorrow, suffering wants company, and that's so sad. When that happens, and especially when we're younger, we don't even understand that.
Yeah.
To know that really has nothing to do with you. And I appreciate you for even sharing that. My thing was, it was so funny. You talked about your booty, your bootay. Mine was the opposite. I'm like completely flat. And I thought I couldn't fill anything out. I couldn't, but I sat there and go, these beautiful, top, gorgeous models have nothing.
Yeah.
But that was not enough to change my mind frame. I was so always self-conscious because I could never fill anything out. 2 kids later, and I'm still not filling anything out. But I do have to say, as a mom and as a woman, our body changes. And I found my tatas, and I thought, wow, I actually can have them. But I want to veer into this, perfect lead into learning how to love and accept yourself. I think that is the true and underlying current and foundation to authenticity.
Yeah, it is. Definitely is.
When you can love and accept yourself to a certain point, all the good and the bad, even trusting that the bad, something beautiful and good can come from it. Something beautiful and good that can come from it. When you even look at our bad, if we can lean into the gratitude, it's really about, look, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have learned all these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
All these things. And when you get to that, place of love and acceptance, that's when you can just start to step in and free to be. And then your authenticity, that true self, starts to shine. I mean, okay, I'm fired up. That was really hot.
Yeah,
super hot.
That was awesome. And wanted to spice into that because in your bio, you talked about helping an entrepreneur to realize his goals, and talking about really stepping into your own and figuring out who you are. Did you feel like it was mentally draining and all that stuff because you were realizing someone else's dream and not your own?
Yeah. Again, Molly, powerful crease. dropping the big questions. I mean, if you could only know, I'm analytical, intuitive, and empathic. So when you drop things, you can only get into my head and see everything that's spinning, and then what starts to show up and what comes into my body and emotions. It's so huge. And what I wanted to share was, you know, it's interesting because every person has a vision, but when you're called to entrepreneurship, you know, I can really say from my own experience that that's the ultimate visionary, because you have all these ideas of things you want to create and how you want to serve and bring it out to the world. And it's beautiful. But the truth is, you know, we have our strengths, we have our weaknesses, we have what we're good at, what we're not. We have things we're experienced in and other things that we're not. And we all need help to create that vision. And I remember sitting there and helping the business owner realize his vision for the company. And at the time, I literally was enrolled in his vision. It was that good. You know, I saw what he wanted to create. It was exciting. It was fun. And I played in it to support it. And at the time, early in the career, that's what I thought, because I was taught and brought up to go to school, get good grades, graduate, get a job, make good money, and you'll be successful. So that is what was ingrained in my mind in terms of what my future was to, you know, uphold for me if I wanted to have a happy, joyful, and successful life. So I did that. I didn't know anything else. I didn't know to imagine other things that I wanted. But when I started working for that entrepreneur, here's the thing that I want to share with so many, because even if you don't have this idea, and I've met a lot of entrepreneurs that didn't realize that they knew they wanted to be a business owner, but they didn't even realize what their true purpose was. But it's been there ever since they were young, you know, but they didn't even know it, even as an adult and having a conversation with me. But this is the truth that you can respond to know that it is a truth. Working for him, it was a vision. It allowed me to grow, but there was this constant tugging in my heart for more. It was a longing and a desire for more. And because I didn't understand who I was, I am an entrepreneur, Molly. I didn't know that. People used to go, Sheila, why don't you start your own business? Because you could do this. And I thought, if I wanted to do that, I would have done it already. No. I'm better as this right-hand person. So I denied, avoided it because I didn't see myself clearly or understand innately who I was. I mean, even in school, I took a test. You know, there's this little test that you take that will help guide you on a career path. So I was good at math and science, very logical. And what it came out was I was supposed to be some neurological brain kind of scientific doctor. I mean, it was long, engineering doctor. And I thought, what the heck was that? I don't even know how to look for a job in that field, you know? And, but I sat there and it wasn't me. I did not see myself as a doctor. I didn't do that. I even went off and became an engineer. Girl, a year and a half. And I'm like, I do not want to be here. I couldn't see myself doing it. I didn't know. And, but the thing was, there's a constant longing this for more, and you're searching until you find it. Because I do believe that every single person, we're all so unique. We're all so unique. But we're created for something really specific and special to bring into the world. And until we're completely aligned with it, things just still feel a little off. There's going to be this longing and pulling in your heart. And so until you go through life and open up and allow yourself to be led to your true purpose, yes, it'll be a little off. But once you align, I mean, once you find your true purpose and realize it, there's this beautiful alignment, and it feels so natural, and you feel so powerful, and it feels so right. It feels so good, Mommy. I can't explain. It just feels so good. It's like you just found yourself, you know? And then the adventure begins, because many times we don't realize who we truly are and our purpose in the world. And when it does, it's vastly different than the path we were taking. But allow it to be exciting. Allow it to be an adventure, you know? Let it be freaking fun. But it is very scary. Like, I didn't know myself. I'm going to do this. And I never realized I was doing it. I mean, I was hired initially for sales and marketing, and then I started to do operations, customer service, wrote policy procedures, and helping a business owner grow his company, leading people. And I was used to working for someone else. So just the idea of being my own boss freaked me out. It's like my big girl panties shrunk. So it was really scary, you know. And but when you align with your truth, with your true purpose, it's almost like you just know this is it. You can't resist and go back. You have to be able to explore, or there's a part of you that feels like it's dying, you know. At least for me, and for many that I've spoken to, it's very similar feelings. There's a part of you that is not able to really bloom and blossom, to exist and whatnot. And it can be very painful, very
Yes,
painful.
it can be. And guys, today we're talking about, I don't know if I had mentioned it before, but we're talking about realizing your vision. And so I want to ask you, why realize your vision? What is the significance of that to you?
You know, when I was given the opportunity to choose a path of entrepreneurship or a job that was actually created for me, it was perfect. I'll let you know, honestly, I self-sabotaged that. Self-sabotage that opportunity. And so the only path that was available was to start my own business. And I remember saying, and sitting there and having my one-on-one conversation with the man above, okay, going, all right, God, if I'm going to do this, it has to be more than just me. What is it that I'm called to do that is above and beyond just Sheila? You know, what is it you're calling me to do? And at the end of the day, I was frustrated because I was out there trying to find myself and to really validate my value with people and talking to entrepreneurs. And I realized sitting there going, you know, these business owners, they're all visionaries. And all I really want to do, if I wanted to do, I just want to help them, these business owners, realize their vision.
Yeah.
And then the name of the company came to me. And that really is the truth. The significance is business owners are creative. They're creative. They have this idea of what they want to bring into the world. And the truth is they need help. I need help. Every entrepreneur needs help to turn this idea into something, an intangible thought into something tangible, you know? And so, and that's where I felt like, well, the foundation of business was somebody that had an idea, excited to bring that to the world, and accepted their truth as being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can I take what I have and my gifts and talents and support that? Like, girl, I got goosebumps all over, head to toe. I get so fired up talking about
Yeah,
entrepreneurs.
yeah. So as a business owner, entrepreneur, how can I realize my vision? The entrepreneurs, business owners that are listening, what would you say to them? What are some of the steps that they definitely need to take to start realizing that vision?
Girl, are you psychic or something? Beautiful, powerful questions. Because, you know, the thing that came to my mind was when I was out there, just staying open to receive and meeting people, I found, and people I'm talking about, business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs, I found them coming to me and asking questions. And that's where it was. They were stuck. They were stuck in some form or fashion. And the truth is, we get stuck a lot, more often than we're willing to admit or even to realize. It could be a small stuck, it could be a big stuck. It could be in the form of a problem. It could be in the form of, you know, I don't know what I don't know, and they don't realize it. But when they're having this conversation, what came to me and what I realized is that every moment that I have a chance to speak and pour into a beautiful business owner, I'm touching on what I find defined as the four fundamentals of the entrepreneurial journey. And that's transformation, strategy, self-love and care, and spirituality. And the spirituality is not about preaching to you, but it's about really recognizing that there are things that keep us up at night. So how can we support you in dealing and confronting those things that keep you up at night so you could find peace, comfort, reprieve, console. Because if you don't, they can suck the energy out of you, drain you, and keep you stuck. And so when it comes here about realizing your vision, it's, I think, understanding what the journey unfolds for you. And it's a journey of love. It's a journey of you stepping into this beautiful version of yourself, a higher version of yourself that can give you the success you desire. So it's understanding that you're going to change. And in the strategy, you're going to take steps to try to grow your business. And there may be things that are familiar to you. There's going to be a lot that's not. You know, and along the way, can you love yourself enough to know how important you are? To realize the true impact and gift that you are bringing to the world, whether it's a product, a service, or both, and to take care of yourself along the way, because burnout is real. We can overwhelm ourselves. You know, you're still learning to know how you tick and how you move, to even know how to give yourself what you need. And I'm talking about even in that spiritual place, when things are just cluttered in your mind and you feel burdened, or things are keeping you up at night. Finding that process, it could be something that's just sitting quietly, learning how to quiet the voices. And when you go to that place of silence and maybe even deep surrender, it feels very spiritual. So you're tapping into all these multiple areas along your journey. And my thing of advice is going, if you want to realize your vision, accept and understand the journey that is going to be entailed to you, that you're going to be tapping into some self-development, personal change, strategy, learning how to care and love yourself, and go and practices is going to help you find that peace and recourse so that you can weather out the ups and downs and the bumps of the journey and storm, because this is life, right? It's not always smooth sailing. And it's not so much about the highs as it is the lows, and how to navigate through that, finding that peace and calm to weather out the storms so you can keep going. And so it's staying open and becoming aware of the journey and all these aspects of it, staying open and embracing change. Change is an inherent part of success. If you don't change, guess what? Nothing happens. People, nothing happens. You know, and what would it feel like if somebody came to you and was able to reflect back all the little changes that actually are big changes in your life, and how they show up in your business, and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all this that's been happening. You know, I can only tell you that when you come to this place of awareness and knowing, again, it feels so good. You know, in it comes understanding, in it comes clarity, in it comes a different type of perspective, and it fuels you. It motivates you, because we're all looking for something tangible. But there's a lot of things in business that are intangible that we progress in, that we grow in, and we cannot negate all of that, because sometimes they're even greater than the amount of money that you make. And I'll give you an example. If you're scared of rejection and acceptance, you're scared what people will think. They'll reject you. They won't accept you. And it's going to block you from you showing up and sharing with the world what you have to offer. And when that exists and you don't show up, where comes all of the other tangible things, right? Like the clients, like the revenue, the achievements that you'd like to be able to say, the words of encouragement, validation, when somebody says, thank you for showing up for me and for helping me in this, because this is what I was able to overcome and achieve because you showed up, right? Oh my gosh.
That was amazing. I'm listening and I'm taking notes. That was awesome.
I love it.
Also in your bio, at the end of the bio, this line really struck me, where you said there is power in small. What does that mean?
Isn't it so juicy? Oh my God, I just got goosebumps from head to toe too, because every time I say it, I feel like it expands who I am. It just feels so good, and the power in small, and it can mean so many things. I think on the most upfront and obvious level, or at least when I say it and I see it, is recognizing how powerful small business is,
Mm.
how powerful small business success is, and what it can be to the world. And when I mean that, it's not only about the money that you make. It's not only about how much money you make. It's recognizing that as an entrepreneur, what you had to go through, what you had to change, who you had to become, how you found the courage and confidence to keep stepping forth, how you picked yourself up when you fell and made mistakes. How did you get to in that path to the point of where you're at, where you grew a business, are making money, and have been able to even create jobs for other people to impact their lives? And if you are heart-centered and you recognize that money is that what you desire is more than just money. It's peace, it's joy, it's impact. It's even recognizing when I show up, this is who I'm being. So if I can get excited about who I am when I'm doing it, when I talk to somebody else, maybe in that conversation, you got them excited to then step up or face their fears and whatnot. So it's this ripple effect that can impact change. And we can't quantify some of the things and the positive ripple effects that we make in this life and in this world by just that conversation we've had with someone, because of who we were being. But if somebody sits here and I'm a business owner and I'm devastated, but here's this beautiful soul that I connect to, and look, she went through hardships, he struggled through all of this, and these are the things that they did, and they were able to overcome, maybe I can too.
Yes.
Imagine bringing that to the world. And then when you show up with such love and authenticity and courage and that kind of confidence and knowing, the abundance starts to come, because you don't think about the money. You're thinking about what difference you're going to make in the world. And that's what people want. People want to know that they're here to serve me and to help me. And it's sincere, it's honest. And things start to just organically grow. And imagine that. And what if you get to a point where you don't wait till you make $1 million to recognize that I am capable of changing the world? So even in your journey, you can sit here and set aside, I want this for my life. It's really just decisions you make and sticking to it. And even going, I've received this abundance, and now I'm going to take some of it and pay it forward. I'm going to support other entrepreneurs that don't have the money and capital to go after the dreams. And I'm going to support that. I'm going to support and put a little something in here. Little or big, it doesn't matter. You're putting something and it makes a difference. It's better than nothing to sit here and help those that are homeless, that are needy for food and whatnot. And to me, that's what I'm talking about, that power in small, who you are being and are taking effort and commitment to self to become so that you achieve the success you desire. When you are so aware of that, of who you're being and the choices you make, you go into this gorgeous, brighter, more brilliant individual and soul that touches and changes people when you interact with them, and are able to create abundance when you need it, and are so generous to share that with the world. And if you are so bold to even go, all of this and what I do and what I say and how I feel and impart on others are all an act of love. There is power in small, honey.
Yeah. You said that, and what came to me was David and Goliath from the Bible.
Yes! Oh my God, yes!
I mean, David was small and all he had was a slingshot. And Goliath had he had this armor and these weapons and all these things. And all David had was a slingshot.
Oh my
So,
God.
so to me now, that is saying to me, never neglect small things. Because a lot of us as entrepreneurs and business owners, we tend to look at others and say, and compare. We compare. We can't help it. It's human nature. We compare. And we see successful people and we say, well, I don't have that. I don't have this money. I don't have that. And And there's a chapter in the Bible where it speak about being faithful in small things, and then God will reward you in big things. And so that is what came to mind when you were talking about that having power in small.
I want to thank you for bringing that because, at the time that that really came to fruition and was brought, that truth was brought to the table for me. David and Goliath was also the same thing that came. Because when we're trying to step into the world of entrepreneurship and starting out, everything seems so big.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, you cannot help but compare yourself to what you desire. And there are all these influential people that are so successful, making all kinds of money. It feels so overpowering. We think that we're not good enough, that we don't have enough. But like you said, David was small. There's so much gift and strength in the idea of you just starting out. So it's just a paradigm that we envision ourselves as small starting out. But the truth is, we're all meant to do great things. We just in that moment didn't recognize how great we are. But in that perspective of seeing ourselves small, can you just embrace what you have and knowing in the value and worth, and just step out to start sharing it?
Yes.
Step out and start sharing it. And you might be surprised. You wake up one day and realize, wow, you're really bigger and larger than you had ever imagined. And it's those little things, like you said, one baby step, just take one step each day, even if it's a baby step. There's power in small because those little things add up into something beautiful. When you look back, you didn't even realize you just kept taking one step at a time. You didn't realize I just climbed Mount Everest. Wow, how did that happen?
Exactly. Yeah. Sheila, this has been so amazing. I feel like we can talk more, but we're gonna have to do this again. Tell our listeners how they can find you, how they can contact you for coaching.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. And this was such an honor. So if you guys just head to my website, I'm really simple. If any of this resonated with you, if you feel a little stuck, if you could use some TLC and some pouring into, or even advice to give you traction so that you can be encouraged to continue in progress and move forward, I'd love for you to go to my website at realize-yourvision.com, realize-yourvision.com. And you are even welcome to just directly email me. And it's Sheila at realize-yourvision.com. Now spell my name right. Sheila. People naturally will do the IE and it'll never get to me. But if you do that, I promise you, I will absolutely respond and show up for you, honoring your commitment to show up for yourself to get what you need. If you reach out, then I want you to know that that is an act of love for yourself, to pick up the phone, to send an email or whatnot, and reach out to get what you need. So love yourself. Love yourself. You are worth it. You are important. And Molly, I love you so much for this opportunity to share. It was so fun. You have to promise me we'll do it again.
We will do it again. Promise, we will do it again. Thank you so much. And I will be putting your information in the podcast notes as well. I just want to end with this. How do you realize your vision, guys? Transformation, strategy, self-love and care, and in that spirituality. And ending with this, there is power in small. Do not dismiss yourself. There is definitely power in small. Thank you so much, Sheila. This
Thank
has been
you.
this has been another episode of the Network Hour podcast. Until we see you again, I want you to live, laugh, and love. And until next time, bye.